Okay guys, so I didn't realize that when they say screen recorder, they mean app recorder. So the decimal section of the last video didn't really pop through, but we're going to go over the two examples that we went over in the last video here. Let's look at the first example we did, which was x squared plus x minus 6 divided by x minus 2. And what we found was that if we were to simplify this guy, he would have the equation x plus 3. Not only was he a line with slope 1 with y-intercept of 3, but we also found that he had a hole at 0.25. So let's see if we got any of that information correct. So here's the graph. Well, it definitely looks like a line. Let's see where the y-intercept is. Boom, right there. 0, 3. All right, we got that correct as well. So the other thing we want to see is what is going on at 0.25. Well, here's 5 and here's 2. So that means 2, 5 is right here. And let's look at what's going on there. So here are all the other points around 2, 5. But once we hit 2, 5, what occurs? Well, it says 2. When x equals 2, y is undefined. Well, that's great. That's what we thought would happen. Notice also that all of these points that I'm touching right here, look at the circle that's bubbled around. It's a closed circle because those y values are included. But once we hit 2, x equals 2, look what happens to our circle. Boop. It opens up. There's a hole right there, right? And there's a hole right there because, let's think about this. If we let x equal 2 and we plug it into our function, well, what do we get in the numerator? Well, 2 squared is 4, plus 2 is 6. So we get 6 minus 6, which is 0. So we get 0 in the numerator. And then we have 2 minus 2, which is 0 in the denominator. So we actually get 0 over 0. So we've been talking about this a lot, but that can't happen, all right? So let's look at the next example that we went over in the previous lecture. We have 4x squared minus 4, and that's being divided by 2x plus 2. And we said that that guy should have the picture of a line with slope 2 and a y-intercept of minus 2. So let's see. Oh, well, we got that right. Good. It has a y-intercept of at 0, minus 2. And we said that there was a hole at x equals minus 1, y equals minus 4. So here's minus 1, here's minus 4. And if you guys need to toggle back and forth between the previous video and this video, go for it. I recommend it. So let's see what happens here. So as we go towards x equals minus 1, boom, again, we get a hole. The y value is undefined. And again, we can understand why by plugging minus 1 into our function right here. We get 4 minus 4, so we get a 0 on top, and we get a minus 2 plus 2, so we get a 0 on the bottom. So again, if we plug minus 1 into this function, we get 0 divided by 0 again, which breaks some of our rules, right? So this is why there's a hole right here at x equals minus 1, and the y value is undefined. All right, guys, see you on the next one.